All right, we are set up after a couple technical glitches. After doing a couple artist interviews on Zoom, I figured I'd do some product placement. I've got the radio station logo here on this mug,
Nice.
88.5 FM, right? Hazel English is joining us from Northern California, I assume, right?
I'm in LA right now.
Oh, you are? That's our backyard. That's incredible. Is LA home for you right now? Because everything I've been reading
It
online
is.
is you're an Oakland person.
I used to be, yeah. I moved to LA a few years ago. So
And originally you are Australian.
yes, from
Uh,
Sydney.
so what brought you to the States in the first place?
Well, I originally got the opportunity to do an exchange program through my university.
Hmm.
That's kind of how I ended up in the Bay. And I was only supposed to go for 6 months. And then I just fell in love with the city, so I decided to stay. And here we are. It's been 7 years now.
That's incredible. So we claim you
Yeah.
as our own now. This is home for you. You know, it's been long enough. Were you studying music in school?
I was actually studying creative writing, so
Mhm.
tangentially similar. Yeah.
I had read that a little bit in some of the stuff as far as, when I was doing the deep dive into Hazel English music. HazelEnglish.com is the website. Our listeners have heard the song Shaking on the air. For
Cool.
weeks and weeks, we had been playing that song, and it's crazy to think that, as we're talking right now, the new record isn't even out yet. So I feel like we were way ahead of the curve there.
Yeah, we wanted to give people a bit of music and give them time to digest it.
Yeah, well, so far so good, and now I think we've moved on. We're going to start playing the song Five and Dime a little bit.
Cool.
And it's our pleasure to turn our listeners and our members on to an artist like yourself. I did watch the
Thank
video recently for Shaking. I saw it for the first time
you.
last night. You're like a
Uh-huh.
cult leader in it. It's who came up with that concept. It's incredible. And in the beginning, when you're walking the streets, what city is that?
It's all filmed in LA, downtown. That scene is in downtown LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my idea, and I talked to my friend Erin, who directed it, and we kind of bounced ideas off each other and how we were going to do this cult thing. And we
Yeah.
really wanted it to be in like a big house, and we got really lucky with the location. This lady let us film in her house and had this amazing backyard, and yeah, and she cast a great group of guys to be in the cult, and it was just really fun. We
It's
had
a
a lot
great
of
video. Again, we're talking about the video for the song "Shaking" from Hazel English. I don't know why I'm oddly disturbed of the like the Jello scenes in it or whatever.
yeah.
But it's a great video. So you have input in not only writing music, but recording and the visual aspect of things as well. It must be an incredible feeling to be able to come up with something in your head and sort of bring it to fruition, whether it's music or on film, right?
Yeah, definitely. Collaboration is a big part of my art in general, whether it's music or the artwork. I love to be really involved in everything, and find other artists that are really willing to collaborate. And you know, that part for me is like really enjoyable.
So you don't feel like your songs are so personal sometimes you don't mind sharing them with the world or other songwriters. I often wonder that, and I often ask artists that all the time because I'm an introvert and a very quiet person, and I feel like wearing my feelings on my sleeve is something that's not natural to me, So I find that
Right.
fascinating that you're like, here's my music, and you know, for everybody to
Yeah, I
see.
mean, in a way, for me, I like collaborating because then I feel like I am less um, critical of the art, whatever it is, if it's a song or if it's a video. Like, if it's just all me, and I have made some videos completely alone, like some of the archival footage stuff I did myself. and for me, when I do that process, it's just like a lot more of me like nitpicking a lot, and like it takes me a lot longer.
Hmm.
Whereas I find when I'm working and collaborating with other people, I just make decisions on the fly, and the process is more enjoyable for me because I'm not so, critical of myself and analyzing is everything
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So,
Um, that's interesting. There are some releases that people could get their hands on from you previously. Just Given, Never Going Home, and then again the record Wake Up. As we talk right now and record this segment, I'm not sure we're going to air it quite yet, but the record comes out on Friday as we speak today, next Friday, which is amazing.
yeah,
I was reading a little bit about the name of the record is called Wake Up, um,
yeah,
and the whole idea behind that is made it maybe in so many words, sort of lighting a fire under your rear end and waking up from being
yeah,
passive. And,
definitely.
you know, I guess, how did that even come about? Were you just fed up? I've had enough. I'm coming out of my shell, or I'm going to do things different, or, um, you know, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, definitely kind of all of those things. I was finding myself in a period where I was feeling kind of apathetic. Um, in general, I was feeling stuck. I wasn't feeling like I was moving forward for whatever reason. Sometimes I get stuck in these moments, whether it's creatively or like, in other ways. I just moved to LA, so I was feeling kind of lonely and still figuring out the city. So there was a lot going on for me. And I was starting to feel myself spiraling. And then I was like, wait, I don't need to be this way. I just need to like take action. Because for me, that is like the release is like once I start taking action, I am able to kind of get through all that anxiety and those feelings. And I also just like thought about the ways that society like plays into these feelings, like being stuck on social media a lot, like a lot of
Mm.
outside forces kind of contributed. So I was trying to analyze like, why am I feeling this way? How can I take action? How can we as a society kind of take action? Things like that. But it started internally for me. And then I realized like, oh, other people are probably dealing with similar feelings. And now more than ever, I feel like we're dealing with this feeling of like, oh my God, we're forced to wake up right now and figure out like what needs to change.
Yeah, just hearing you speak like that, it motivates me in a way, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and yeah, I appreciate that very much. Part of songwriting, and again, wearing your heart on your sleeve is, the most amazing thing is, you could speak from your standpoint, but
Mhm.
it might resonate with so many other people who are listening, and they could relate in so many ways. It tugs at your inner heartstrings, and I know you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So what part of LA are you in, and how long you been in town?
I'm in Silver Lake. Yeah, I've been in LA for about 2 years now. I
Okay,
really
so you've had the opportunity you've been to the venues, and you've explored
yeah,
town a little bit before we went on this lockdown, which is good.
yeah,
And,
yes. I'm glad I didn't just move somewhere and
oh
then have
man,
to go to work.
yeah. How are you passing the time? I know, it might be frustrating. You spend all this time writing and recording, and then maybe creating a plan to promote the music and maybe play some shows around the country. And then that
Yeah.
all gets scrapped because of something like this. Are you writing music now while you're kind of in quarantine? And are you reading books? Are you getting back to creative writing? How are you spending the time, and who are you spending it with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely trying to write every day, which is kind of a practice that I always try to cultivate. It's usually like, just in my journal first thing in the morning. Um, and I've been really busy. It's bizarre, but like I feel like I've been busier now than I have been. in the last few months in a weird way, probably because the album and a lot of promo stuff.
Yeah.
Just getting ready. There's a lot involved in getting ready to release an album, even when you're not, performing live. I mean, I have been performing a bit online, but like, yeah, going on tour obviously is a whole other thing of preparation. So I was starting to put the wheels in place for the tour, but then it got obviously postponed.
Yeah, it's insane. There were a lot of artists who were supposed to come in our radio station to perform live on the air, and now we're not,
Right.
obviously we're not doing that. So we figured this out,
That's
which
so
is
great though.
it's cool. We've seen a lot of our peers, as far as some stations like us around the country, sort of delve into content like this, and it took us just a few
Yeah,
weeks to kind of figure it out, but now we're doing it.
yeah. I love how everyone's adapting, just trying to make it online now. It's cool that we're figuring out new ways to do things. And, like I did do a performance, I think last weekend or the weekend before, and my mom was able to tune in Australia. So that is one kind of upside to it, is that everyone around the world can kind of like listen to these performances. But
Yeah.
I am a little bit sad that I don't get to meet people in real life, because that's a really big part of it for me, meeting the fans and having that interaction. So now I'm just trying to figure out how can I do things online, and recreate that in as best as I can, for this situation. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all trying to figure it out. And what we're learning now might translate to, after the dust settles and when it's all said and done, the stuff that we're
Mhm.
doing now will set us up for, this is could be the future. Who knows?
Right. Right.
So it's interesting, and we're all learning it together. And it's a cliche, but we're all in this together, trying to figure it out. It's good that you're busy with this new record
Yeah.
coming out. I'm incredibly
Yeah.
busy as well. We have a great engineer who's set us up with microphones and
That's great.
laptops and mixing boards. So our DJs are still on the air, which is
Wow. That's
crazy. I can't believe it. But this is my bedroom, and in the next room, my wife and my 2-year-old are there. Um,
Aw.
so it makes it difficult to juggle work, and
Right.
family. I tell you, I was just on baby duty, and now I have to put the radio DJ hat on. So that's a little crazy. Meanwhile, I have some coworkers who all either their kids are grown up, or they don't have kids. So all they're doing
Right.
is sitting in front of the computer all day. And by the time I get to emails, it's like, whoa, I missed a lot. Um,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's this funny time where, you know, everyone, yeah, we're just kind of like figuring out how to shift our regular routines now and doing everything at home, because I love going outside. Like I before this, I found it really difficult to work from home, to get so distracted at home. And I feel like for
Yeah.
me, I like to go to a cafe and work there and things like that. Whereas now I'm just like, okay, I can't do those things anymore.
Right.
So
It's funny. We just kind of relaunched, rebranded our morning show, and we had aspirations to have them do remote broadcasts every Friday, different coffee shops and stuff. And
mm,
then this hit. I could relate to you. I do some of my best work at a coffee shop, and I miss that
yeah,
very much. And I miss going to the zoo, and I miss going to the park, and going to
yeah,
concerts and stuff. But I'll tell you, it's nice that you live close. You're in Los Angeles now. We're in Southern California. So when it's all
yeah.
said and done, hopefully, if you're not on the road, you could come on in. We could have another chit chat and live performance on the air. That would be incredible.
That would be nice. Yeah, I look forward to being able to do all those kinds of things once things are a little safer. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Hang
definitely.
in there. I'll say again, hazelenglish.com is the website. You can delve into the music, the videos, and buy the merch. And congrats on the new record. Stay busy
Thank you
and
so much.
and stay
Thank
safe.
you. Likewise. Yeah. Thanks
Thank you
for
very
having
much.
me.
It was a pleasure to talk with you. We'll catch up with you later.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye.